Human life has always been filled with questions about purpose, direction, and connection. From ancient times, people looked at the sky and felt that something greater than themselves was present. The stars, the moon, a rising sun, and the quiet rhythm of nature made them feel that the universe was alive. And listening this feeling created a deep curiosity inside the human heart. A curiosity that asked a simple yet powerful question. Can we communicate with the universe? The idea of talking to the universe is not about speaking loudly into the sky or expecting a voice to answer back. It is about understanding that every thought, every feeling, and every intention you carry sends energy into the world. The universe responds to that energy in ways that may appear as opportunities, coincidences, inspiration, or unexpected guidance. Many people go through life believing they are alone in their struggles. They feel as if life happens randomly without meaning. But when a person begins to observe life carefully, they start to notice patterns and connections that were always there. The universe communicates quietly through events, people, emotions, and timing. When a person learns to notice these signals, they begin to feel supported and guided. Talking to the universe is also about building awareness of your own inner world. Your mind and heart are powerful instruments. They are constantly creating signals through thoughts, beliefs, dreams, and desires. These signals move outward, like waves across water, touching the greater field of existence. When your thoughts are clear and your intentions are strong, the universe often responds with circumstances that align with what you are seeking. For example, imagine a young student who dreams of becoming a teacher but feels uncertain about the path. One day, the student decides to focus deeply on that dream. Instead of doubting, they begin to imagine themselves teaching, helping students, and sharing knowledge they speak about their dream. With hope and gratitude, slowly opportunities begin to appear. They meet a mentor who encouraged them. They find a training program they did not know existed. They receive support from unexpected people. It may appear as coincidence, but in reality, the student has started a conversation with the universe through intention, belief, and action. Another example can be seen in the life of a traveler searching for direction. A person who feels lost might begin spending time in silence, reflecting on what truly matters. During these quiet moments, ideas begin to emerge. Book appears that answers a question. A conversation with a stranger offers wisdom. A sudden inspiration leads to a new journey. These experiences are often described as signs or guidance, and they represent the universe responding to a sincere search for meaning. The universe communicates in subtle ways. It may appear through feelings of peace when you are moving in the right direction, or through discomfort when something is not aligned with your deeper purpose. Learning to talk to the universe means learning to trust these feelings and recognizing that they are part of a larger dialogue between your inner self and the world around you. It is also important to understand that communication with the universe requires patience. Just as a seed planted in soil takes time to grow, your intentions and desires need time to unfold. The universe works through natural timing and complex connections that cannot always be seen immediately. A person who learns to trust the process develops a sense of calm and confidence, even during uncertainty. Gratitude is another important element in this conversation. When you express appreciation for the small blessings in your life, you create a positive relationship with the universe. Gratitude shifts your attention from what is missing to what is already present. This shift creates a powerful energy that attracts more experiences of growth and fulfillment. Throughout this book, you will explore the idea that the universe is not distant or unreachable. Instead, it is a dynamic field of energy and intelligence that interacts with human consciousness. Every dream, every hope, and every effort to grow becomes part of this interaction. When a person becomes aware of this connection, life begins to feel more meaningful and purposeful. The journey of learning how to talk to the universe is not about controlling life, but about cooperating with it. It is about aligning your thoughts, actions, and emotions with the natural flow of existence. When this alignment happens, you begin to notice that life responds in surprising and beautiful ways. This book invites you to explore that relationship, step by step, through stories, reflections, and simple examples. You will discover how intention, awareness, gratitude, and patience can open a deeper dialogue with the universe. The goal is not to change who you are, but to help you recognize the power that already exists within you. When you learn to listen carefully and speak with sincerity, the universe becomes not just the space around you, but a partner in your journey of growth, creativity, and discovery. And once this conversation begins, it can transform the way you see the world and your place within it. The universe has always been speaking. The real question is whether you are ready to listen and respond with awareness, hope, and trust. Chapter 1. The Whisper of the Universe. Long before human beings built cities, created machines, or wrote books, people stood beneath the open sky and felt something powerful around them. They looked at the stars and sensed that existence was larger than anything they could fully understand. The wind moving through trees, the rhythm of waves touching the shore, and the rising of the sun each morning created a quiet message that life was connected in ways deeper than the human. I could see this feeling is the beginning of understanding how to talk to the universe. The universe does not speak with a human voice, and it does not send letters or messages in the way people communicate with each other. Instead, the universe communicates through experiences, feelings, patterns, and timing. It whispers through life itself. Many people move through life so quickly that they miss these whispers. Their minds are filled with worries, plans, and distractions, and because of this, they cannot notice the gentle guidance that is always present. But the moment a person slows down and begins to observe life carefully, something begins to change. They start to see meaning in ordinary moments. Imagine a young boy who loves watching the night sky. Every evening, he climbs to the roof of his house and looks at the stars shining above him. One night, while sitting quietly, he begins to wonder about his future. He feels unsure about what he will become in life. But instead of worrying, he simply speaks softly to the universe. He says that he hopes to discover something meaningful that can help people. Days pass, and nothing seems to change, but slowly his curiosity grows stronger. He begins reading books about science and nature. He meets a teacher who encourages his interest and guides him toward learning more about the universe. Years later, he becomes a researcher studying space and discovering new ideas that inspire others. When he looks back, he realizes that the moment he expressed his curiosity under the night sky was the moment he started conversation with the universe. This story shows an important truth. Talking to the universe does not require special words or rituals. It begins with sincere thoughts and genuine feelings. When a person expresses a dream, hope, or question from the heart, that energy moves outward like ripples in water. Think about a small stone falling into a quiet lake. The moment the stone touches the surface, circles begin spreading across the water, moving farther and farther away. In the same way, every thought and intention you create sends energy into the world. The universe receives that energy and responds through events, opportunities, and connections that slowly shape your journey. Another example can be seen in the life of a woman who felt uncertain about her purpose. She worked every day in a job that did not bring her joy, and she often felt tired and unfulfilled. One evening, she decided to take a walk in a nearby park. The air was calm, and the sunset painted the sky with warm colors. As she walked, she quietly spoke within her mind, asking the universe to guide her toward a life that felt meaningful. The next few weeks brought small changes that seemed simple at first. She met a stranger who talked about community projects helping children learn art. This conversation stayed in her thoughts and inspired her to volunteer at a small learning center. She soon discovered that teaching creativity to young students filled her with happiness that she had never experienced before. Over time, this passion grew into a new career When she looked back at the moment in the park, she understood that it was the beginning of her dialogue with the universe. Her simple request for guidance had created awareness and opened her to opportunities she might have ignored before. The whisper of the universe often appears through intuition. Intuition is the quiet inner feeling that guides you without logical explanation. Sometimes it tells you to follow a certain path, talk to a certain person, or explore a new idea. Many people ignore this feeling because it seems too subtle or uncertain. Yet intuition is one of the most important ways the universe communicates. For example, imagine a traveler exploring a new city while walking through busy streets. The traveler suddenly feels a strong urge to turn down a quiet road instead of continuing forward. There is no clear reason for this decision, but the feeling is strong enough to follow. When the traveler turns the corner, they discover a beautiful garden hidden between old buildings. Inside the garden, they meet a group of people discussing creative projects, and one of those conversations leads to an opportunity that changes their life. From the outside, this moment might appear random, but from a deeper perspective, it is part of the conversation between the traveler and the universe. The inner feeling that encouraged the traveler to change direction was the whisper guiding them toward a meaningful experience. Listening to the whisper of the universe requires awareness. Awareness means paying attention to your thoughts, your emotions, and the environment around you. It means noticing patterns and recognizing when life is offering subtle guidance. A man who enjoyed photography once decided to carry his camera everywhere he went. He believed that beautiful moments could appear at any time. One morning, he woke up feeling inspired to visit a small village outside the city, even though he had no specific plan. When he arrived, he noticed an elderly craftsman creating traditional artwork in a quiet workshop. The photographer asked permission to capture the moment, and the resulting photograph later became famous around the world. The photographer often said that he did not plan the moment carefully. Instead, he followed a feeling that led him to the right place at the right time. That feeling was the whisper of the universe, guiding him toward an eye. Extraordinary experience. Another important part of hearing the universe is learning to trust silence. In a world filled with noise, many people forget the value of quiet reflection. Silence allows the mind to settle and creates space for deeper understanding. Consider the story of a writer who struggled with creative ideas. Every time he tried to write, he felt blocked and frustrated. One day, he decided to leave his desk and spend time sitting beside a river without any distractions. He listened to the water flowing and watched leaves drifting along the surface. After some time, his thoughts became calm and new ideas began to appear naturally. When he returned home, he wrote pages of meaningful words with ease. The silence by the river had allowed him to reconnect with the creative energy of the universe. The whisper of the universe also appears through timing. Sometimes people experience delays or obstacles that seem negative at first, but later reveal hidden benefits. A missed opportunity can lead to a better path. A failed plan can open the door to unexpected growth. Imagine a young entrepreneur who dreams of starting a business. He spends months preparing a project and believes everything will succeed, but suddenly the plan falls apart. At first, he feels disappointed and confused. However, this challenge pushes him to learn new skills and rethink his approach. Months later, he creates a better idea that becomes more successful than his original plan. Looking back, he understands that the universe was guiding him through lessons rather than immediate success. The failure was not a rejection, but a redirection. Understanding these whispers changes the way a person experiences life. Instead of feeling alone or disconnected, they begin to recognize that their thoughts, actions, and experiences are part of a greater dialogue. Every moment becomes an opportunity to listen and respond. Talking to the universe begins with awareness and sincerity. When you express your dreams clearly, when you observe life with curiosity, and when you trust the quiet feelings inside you, the conversation naturally unfolds. The universe does not shout. It whispers through intuition, through coincidence, through moments of inspiration, and through the quiet rhythm of everyday life. The more you learn to listen, the more clearly you begin to understand that you have always been part of this conversation, and once you recognize the whisper of the universe, you realize that every step you take, every thought you create, and every hope you carry becomes a message, traveling outward into the infinite field of existence, waiting for a response that will shape the next chapter of your journey. Chapter 2. Creating inner silence. The conversation with the universe begins not with speaking, but with listening. Many people believe that they must send strong requests or powerful words into the world to receive answers, yet the truth is often the opposite. The universe communicates most clearly when the mind becomes calm and open. Human life today is filled with constant movement. People wake up and immediately face noise, responsibilities, messages, and endless streams of information. The mind becomes crowded with thoughts about the past, worries about the future, and distractions that never seem to end. In such a state, it becomes very difficult to hear the quiet guidance that the universe offers. Creating inner silence is the first step toward meaningful communication with the universe. Inner silence does not mean that thoughts disappear completely. It means that a person learns to slow down, observe their thoughts, and allow space between them. In that space, clarity begins to appear. Imagine a man who spends his days working in a busy city. His schedule is full, and his mind rarely rests. One evening after a long day, he decides to sit quietly in a park. He leaves his phone in his pocket and simply watches the trees moving gently in the wind. At first, his mind continues racing with unfinished tasks and worries, but slowly his breathing becomes steady and his thoughts begin to settle as the noise inside his mind fades. He notices something new. He begins to feel calm and present in the moment. Ideas that once seemed confusing now appear simple. He realizes that many of his problems were not as complicated as he believed. The silence of the park allowed him to reconnect with himself and with the natural flow of life. This moment is an example of inner silence opening the door to communication with the universe. When the mind becomes still, it becomes easier to notice intuition, inspiration, and subtle guidance. Another example can be seen in the life of a young woman who struggled with making an important decision. She had two possible paths in front of her. One path offered financial security, while the other allowed her to follow a creative passion. Her mind was filled with doubts and opinions from other people, and she felt unable to decide. One day, she chose to spend time alone in a quiet place near a lake. She sat beside the water and watched the reflection of clouds moving slowly across the surface. She did not force herself to think about the decision. Instead, she allowed her mind to rest. After some time, a simple realization appeared inside her. She understood which path truly matched her heart. The answer did not come through complex analysis, but through a quiet feeling of certainty. This feeling emerged because she created space for inner silence. Nature often helps people discover this silence. The rhythm of waves, the movement of wind through leaves, and the steady warmth of sunlight naturally slow the human mind. When a person spends time in such environments, they begin to feel connected to something larger than themselves. A traveler once spent several days hiking through mountains. During the first day, his mind was busy with thoughts about work and responsibilities. But as he continued walking, the sounds of the city disappeared and were replaced by the sounds of nature, birds singing, water flowing, and the gentle movement of air across the landscape. By the third day, he felt a deep sense of peace. He realized that many of the worries that once felt overwhelming had lost their power. The quiet environment allowed him to hear his own inner voice and to sense the presence of the universe surrounding him. Inner silence is also connected with breathing. When people feel stressed, their breathing becomes fast and shallow. When they relax, their breathing becomes slow and deep. This simple change can transform the state of the mind. A teacher once guided a group of students through a simple exercise. He asked them to close their eyes and take slow, gentle breaths while focusing only on the movement of entering and leaving their bodies. At first, the students felt restless, but after several minutes, they noticed their minds becoming calmer during this quiet moment. One student suddenly remembered an idea for a project he had been struggling to complete. The idea appeared naturally without effort. Later, he explained that the calm breathing created enough silence in his mind for creativity to emerge. The universe often sends inspiration during these moments of calm because the mind becomes receptive. When thoughts slow down, awareness becomes sharper and people begin to notice details they once ignored. Consider the story of a painter who searched for inspiration for many months. He visited galleries, studied different styles, and tried many techniques, but none of his work felt meaningful. One afternoon, he decided to stop searching and instead sat quietly in his studio, watching sunlight move across the floor. As he observed the gentle change of light, he felt a new sense of appreciation for simple beauty. This quiet observation inspired him to create a painting focused on natural light and subtle color. The artwork later became one of his most admired creations. The inspiration did not come from forcing ideas, but from allowing silence to reveal them. Inner silence also teaches patience. Many people expect immediate answers when they ask the universe for guidance. Yet the universe works through natural timing. Seeds planted in soil do not grow instantly. They require time, water, and sunlight before they become strong plants. In the same way, intentions and questions need time to develop. When a person practices inner silence, they learn to trust this process. They understand that answers may appear gradually through experiences, conversations, or unexpected opportunities. Young entrepreneur once faced repeated challenges while building a business. Each time he encountered difficulties, he felt tempted to give up. However, he began a daily habit of sitting quietly each morning before starting his work. During these moments, he reflected on his purpose and allowed his thoughts to settle. Over time, he noticed that solutions appeared more easily. Problems that once felt impossible became manageable because his mind was clearer and more focused. The practice of inner silence allowed him to remain calm and open to guidance from the high universe. Creating inner silence does not require special equipment or complicated techniques. It can happen anywhere: a quiet room, a peaceful walk, a moment of deep breathing, or simply observing the world around you can become an opportunity to reconnect with calm awareness. A mother caring for her children discovered this during her busy days. While preparing meals and managing responsibilities, she often felt overwhelmed. One day, she decided to pause for a few moments each morning before the rest of the family woke up. She sat by the window watching the early sunlight and allowed herself to breathe slowly and quietly. These short moments of silence changed the way she experienced the entire day. She felt more patient, more focused, and more connected to the present moment. Even small challenges became easier to handle because her mind began the day with calm clarity. This story shows that inner silence does not remove responsibilities from life. Instead, it gives people the strength and awareness needed to face them with balance. As you continue learning how to talk to the universe, remember that silence is not emptiness. It is a space where understanding grows. It is the calm surface of water that allows you to see reflections clearly. When your mind becomes quiet, you begin to notice the subtle guidance that has always been present. The universe does not need loud voices or dramatic actions to communicate. It only needs your willingness to pause, listen, and trust the quiet wisdom that appears within. Through inner silence, the conversation with the universe becomes clearer, deeper, and more meaningful. And once you experience this calm connection, you begin to understand that the answers you seek have always been closer than you imagined, waiting patiently in the stillness of your own awareness. Chapter 3. Intention, the language of the universe. Every conversation requires a language. Human beings speak through words, expressions, and actions. The universe, however, understands a different language. This language is intention. Intention is the energy behind every thought, every desire, and every decision you make. It is the quiet force that tells the universe what direction your life is moving toward. Many people say they want change, success, happiness, or purpose, but their thoughts remain uncertain or filled with doubt. When intention is unclear, the signals sent into the universe become weak and scattered, just as a traveler cannot reach a destination without choosing a direction. A person cannot receive meaningful responses from the universe without clear intention. Understand this idea. Imagine a young man who dreams of becoming a musician. He loves music deeply, but he often tells himself that success is unlikely. He practices sometimes, but not consistently, and he rarely shares his talent with others because he fears rejection. His dream exists, but his intention is not strong enough to guide his actions. One day, something changes. He attends a small concert where a performer speaks openly about following passion despite obstacles. The message inspires him deeply. That night he sits quietly and thinks about his life. He realizes that music is not simply a hobby for him, but a true calling at that moment. He forms a clear intention. He decides that he will dedicate time every day to practicing, learning, and sharing his music with others. His thoughts become focused, and his actions begin to reflect his purpose. Over time, opportunities begin to appear. A friend invites him to perform at a local event. A small audience hears his music and appreciates it. Someone records a video of his performance and shares it online. Soon more people discover his work, and his confidence grows when he reflects on his journey. He understands that the moment he formed a clear intention, his relationship with the universe changed. His focused energy created movement in his life. Intention works like a compass, guiding your actions, thoughts, and decisions. When the compass is steady, your path becomes clearer. Even challenges begin to serve a purpose because they help you develop strength and skill. Another example can be seen in the life of a woman who wanted to help her community. She noticed that many children in her neighborhood lacked access to books and educational support. The problem concerned her deeply, but for a long time, she did nothing because she felt that one person could not make a difference. Evening, she decided to stop doubting her ability to help. She formed a simple intention to create a place where children could read, learn, and explore new ideas. She did not have a large budget or a detailed plan, but her intention was sincere. She began by collecting books from friends and neighbors. She organized small reading sessions in a local community space and invited children to participate. Slowly, more volunteers joined her effort, and the small reading group grew into a community library that helped many young students. Her intention created a ripple effect. Each action inspired another, and the universe responded by bringing people and resources that supported the vision. This story shows that intention is not limited by current circumstances. A person may begin with very little, but a strong intention creates energy that moves outward into the world. Universe responds not only to what you say, but to what you truly believe within your heart. If a person speaks positive words, but secretly expects failure, the hidden belief weakens the intention. However, when thoughts, feelings, and actions align, the signal becomes powerful and clear. Consider the story of a traveler searching for a meaningful career. The traveler spent many years working in different jobs without satisfaction. Each position provided income, but none created a sense of fulfillment. Eventually, the traveler decided to explore personal interests and talents more deeply. Instead of asking only how to earn money, the traveler asked a different question: what kind of work would allow me to contribute something meaningful to the world? This question became a strong intention guiding future choices. The traveler began learning new skills, meeting people with similar interests, and exploring opportunities related to creativity and education. Over time, these efforts led to a role teaching workshops that inspired others to discover their talents. The traveler realized that the universe had responded to the deeper intention of contributing value rather than simply earning income. Intention also influences how people perceive opportunities. When your mind focuses on a specific goal, you begin to notice possibilities that were always present, but previously ignored. Imagine a student who decides to study environmental science because they care deeply about protecting nature. Before forming this intention, the student rarely noticed discussions about environmental issues. But once the goal became clear, they began seeing articles, lectures, and research programs related to their interest everywhere. Change happened not because the world suddenly transformed, but because the student became more aware of opportunities connected to the intention. In the same way, the universe often places helpful experiences in your path, but you must have a clear intention to recognize them. Another example comes from a man who wanted to improve his health. For years he struggled with unhealthy habits and low energy. He often wished for change, but never committed to a specific intention. Eventually, he decided to take responsibility for his well-being. He formed a clear intention to build a healthier life through balanced food, regular exercise, and positive thinking. This intention guided small daily actions. He began walking every morning, preparing nutritious meals, and learning about wellness. These simple habits gradually transformed his energy and confidence. During this journey, he also met people who shared similar goals. They encouraged him and introduced him to new activities that strengthened his commitment. The universe responded not by instantly solving his problems, but by supporting his efforts with helpful connections and experiences. Example shows an important truth: intention must be supported by action. The universe listens to your thoughts, but it also observes your behavior. When actions reflect intention, the conversation becomes stronger. Patience is another important element of intention. Some people express a desire and expect immediate results. When change does not happen quickly, they lose motivation and believe the universe is not responding. However, growth often follows a natural process, similar to planting a seed. A seed placed in soil does not become a tree overnight. It develops gradually as it receives sunlight, water, and care. In the same way, intentions grow stronger through consistent focus and effort. Each step forward sends a message to the universe that you are committed to your path. A writer who dreamed of completing a novel once faced this challenge. The project felt overwhelming and progress seemed slow, but the writer maintained a clear intention to finish the story and share it with readers every day. Even when inspiration felt distant, the writer continued writing small sections of the manuscript. Over time, these pages formed chapters and eventually the complete book. When the novel was published, readers connected deeply with the story. The writer later explained that the most important part of the true journey was not sudden inspiration, but the steady intention that guided daily effort. This chapter reveals that intention is the language the universe understands most clearly. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions combine to create a signal that travels beyond your immediate surroundings. When this signal becomes focused and sincere, it begins shaping your experiences, guiding you toward people, opportunities, and lessons that match your purpose. Learning to communicate with the universe, therefore, begins with a simple but powerful practice. Ask yourself what truly matters to you. Identify the dreams and values that bring meaning to your life. Then express those intentions with honesty and commitment. As you continue this journey, you will discover that the universe listens closely to the energy you send outward. Through clear intention, you begin to participate actively in shaping your path rather than simply reacting to circumstances. And once you understand this language, you realize that every moment, every thought, and every choice becomes part of a continuous dialogue between your inner world and the infinite universe surrounding you. Chapter 4. Recognizing the signs from the universe. Once a person learns to create inner silence and speak through clear intention, the next step in the conversation with the universe is learning how to recognize its responses. The universe rarely answers in direct words. Instead, it communicates through signs, patterns, coincidences, opportunities, and feelings that guide a person. gently toward the right direction. Many people experience these signs, but ignore them because they appear simple or ordinary. The truth is that the universe often uses everyday moments to deliver its guidance. A meaningful conversation, an unexpected idea, a repeated symbol, or even a sudden change in plans can become a message when a person is aware enough to notice it. Imagine a young woman who is uncertain about choosing a career path. She spends many days thinking about different possibilities, but none of them feel completely right. One afternoon, she visits a bookstore simply to relax while reading inside the store. She randomly chooses a book from a shelf and begins turning the pages. The book describes the journey of a teacher who travels to different communities, helping students discover their abilities. As the woman reads, she feels a deep connection with the story. It inspires her in a way she cannot easily explain. Later that week, she meets a friend who mentions a volunteer program supporting education in rural areas. At that moment, she remembers the book and realizes that two different experiences are pointing toward the same idea. She decides to explore the opportunity and eventually discovers a passion for teaching that shapes her future. These experiences may appear accidental, but when viewed carefully, they form a pattern guiding her toward a meaningful path. The universe responded to her search for direction by presenting signs through people and situations. Another example can be seen in the life of a traveler exploring unfamiliar places. The traveler had always dreamed of starting a photography project focused on cultural traditions, but lacked the confidence to begin. During a trip through a small town, the traveler noticed colorful artwork displayed along the streets. The artwork represented local traditions and stories passed through generations. While admiring the paintings, the traveler met an elderly artist who explained the history behind each design. The conversation inspired the traveler deeply and led to the decision to document cultural traditions through photography. Later, the traveler realized that the chance encounter with the artist was more than coincidence. It was a sign encouraging the creative project that had existed only as a distant idea. Signs from the universe often appear when a person asks a sincere question or expresses a genuine desire for guidance. When your intention becomes clear, the universe begins arranging experiences that help you move forward. Sometimes the signs appear through repetition. A person may notice the same message, symbol, or idea appearing multiple times in different forms. These repetitions act as gentle reminders, encouraging attention. For instance, imagine a young man thinking about improving his physical and mental health. For many months, he ignored the idea because of a busy schedule. One day, he overhears two colleagues discussing the benefits of daily exercise. Later, he watches a documentary about healthy living and hears a similar message. A few days afterward, he meets an old friend who invites him to join a morning walking group. The repeated appearance of the same theme becomes impossible to ignore. Eventually, he understands that these moments are guiding him toward positive change. The universe sometimes communicates through intuition as well. Intuition is the inner feeling that tells you something is right or wrong, even when logical explanations are unclear. Consider the story of a business owner deciding whether to accept a partnership offer. The proposal seems profitable, and many people encourage the decision. Yet each time the owner thinks about agreeing, there is a quiet sense of discomfort instead of ignoring this feeling. The owner decides to pause and observe the situation more carefully. After some time, new information appears, revealing that the partnership carried hidden risks. By trusting intuition, the owner avoided a serious mistake in this situation. The universe spoke through a subtle emotional signal rather than external events. The discomfort served as a protective sign, guiding the person away from harm. Not all signs from the universe lead to immediate success. Sometimes they appear as challenges or delays that push a person toward growth. Imagine a student who applies for admission to a university program but receives a rejection letter. The disappointment feels overwhelming, and the student believes that the dream has ended. However, the Rejection encourages the student to explore other educational opportunities. During this exploration, the student discovers a program better suited to personal interests and talents. The new environment provides stronger mentorship and more meaningful experiences. Years later, the student recognizes that the rejection was not a failure, but a sign redirecting life toward a more suitable path. The universe often works in this way, using unexpected outcomes to guide people toward better possibilities. Another example involves a musician who planned to perform at an important event. Unfortunately, technical problems forced the cancellation of the performance. Musician felt frustrated and discouraged, but decided to stay and listen to other performers. During the event, the musician met a producer who appreciated this dedication and talent shown despite the disappointment. This meeting later resulted in a recording opportunity that introduced the musician to a wider audience. What appeared as an unfortunate problem became a turning point because the musician remained open to new experiences. Recognizing signs from the universe also requires trust and patience. A person who constantly doubts every experience may miss the guidance hidden within it. At the same time, it is important to remain balanced and thoughtful rather than assuming every small event carries a dramatic meaning. The key is awareness. Awareness allows you to observe patterns, connections, and emotions with curiosity rather than fear. When you approach life with this mindset, you begin to see that many events carry lessons. Encouragement or direction. A writer once described this experience while working on a difficult project. The writer often asked the universe for inspiration and guidance. During a walk through a quiet street, the writer noticed a mural painted on a wall. The mural showed a person climbing a mountain. Step by step, this image reminded the writer that progress happens gradually and that persistence is more important than speed. The simple artwork provided the motivation needed to continue writing the story. In this way, the universe communicated through visual symbolism, offering encouragement at the right moment. Another powerful form of guidance comes through meaningful encounters with people. Sometimes a single conversation with a stranger can influence the direction of an entire life. A traveler once met an elderly storyteller. During a long train journey, the storyteller shared experiences about exploring different cultures and learning from diverse communities. The conversation lasted only a short time, but it awakened a deep curiosity within the traveler. Inspired by the meeting, the traveler later began studying cultural history and eventually became a researcher documenting traditions from around the world. When reflecting on the journey, the traveler often remembered that simple conversation on the train as the beginning of a life-changing path. These stories reveal that the universe communicates constantly, but in subtle ways. It uses the language of timing, connection, intuition, and experience rather than direct commands. When you learn to recognize these signs, your relationship with the universe becomes more interactive. You begin to understand that life is not a random series of events, but a complex network of guidance and opportunity. The more you pay attention, the more clearly the messages appear. A repeated idea, a strong feeling, a meaningful meeting, or even an unexpected challenge can become part of the conversation guiding you toward growth and purpose. As you continue your journey, remember that recognizing signs requires openness, curiosity, and trust. The universe does not force its messages upon you. It gently presents them and waits for your awareness to discover their meaning. When you develop this awareness, every moment of life becomes part of a greater dialogue between you and the universe, and each sign becomes a step guiding you closer to the path meant for you. Chapter 5. Belief, the power that strengthens the conversation. Talking to the universe does not only require intention and awareness, it also requires belief. Belief is the inner confidence that the universe hears your thoughts and responds to the energy you create. Without belief, the conversation becomes weak and uncertain because doubt interrupts the connection. People express their desires, yet secretly believe that nothing will change. They speak about dreams, but expect disappointment. When the mind carries strong doubt, it sends mixed signals into the universe. One moment the person asks for growth or success, and the next moment they convince themselves that it is impossible. Belief acts like the strength of a signal traveling through space. When the signal is strong and steady, it travels far and clearly. When the signal is weak, it fades before reaching its destination. In the same way, belief strengthens the intentions you send into the universe. Consider the story of a young athlete who dreamed of becoming a champion runner. During the early years of training, many people told the athlete that the dream was unrealistic. The competitions were difficult, and progress seemed slow. Some days the athlete wondered if those doubts were correct. However, the athlete continued to believe deeply in the dream. Each morning before training, the athlete imagined crossing the finish line with determination and pride. That image created motivation, even during moments of exhaustion. Through years of dedication, the athlete improved step by step. Eventually, the athlete qualified for an important competition and performed with remarkable strength. The victory was not sudden luck, but the result of belief guiding consistent effort. Looking back, the athlete understood that belief played a powerful role. It allowed the dream to survive during difficult times and helps transform effort into achievement. Belief also influences how people respond to challenges. When a person believes that success is possible, they view obstacles as temporary lessons rather than permanent failures. Imagine a young entrepreneur starting a small business. The early months are filled with problems. Customers are few and resources are limited. Many people in similar situations might give up quickly, believing the effort is pointless. This entrepreneur holds a strong belief that the idea can grow and serve people in meaningful ways. Because of that belief, the entrepreneur continues learning, adapting, and improving the business model. Each problem becomes an opportunity to gain knowledge rather than a reason to quit. Over time, the business begins attracting attention. Customers appreciate the quality and dedication behind the work. What started as a small, uncertain project becomes a successful enterprise that supports many people. This journey demonstrates how belief keeps the conversation with the universe alive. It encourages persistence and creates the energy needed to move forward. Belief does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that life is always easy. It means trusting that effort combined with intention can lead to growth even when the path is challenging. Another example can be found in the life of Vive, a teacher who believed strongly in the potential of every student. The classroom included many children who struggled with confidence. Some believed they were not intelligent enough to succeed in school. Instead of accepting these doubts, the teacher encouraged each student to believe in their own abilities. The teacher created an environment where mistakes were treated as learning opportunities rather than failures. One student in particular had difficulty with reading and often felt discouraged. The teacher continued offering support and reminding the student that improvement was possible. Slowly, the student began practicing more often and discovered that progress was real. Years later, that same student became a writer who inspired others. Through storytelling, the transformation began with the teacher believing in the student, even before the student believed in themselves. This example shows that belief can spread from one person to another and create powerful change. When people support each other with encouragement, they strengthen the positive energy surrounding a dream. The universe often responds to belief by presenting opportunities that match the energy of confidence. When you truly believe in your path, you become more open to recognizing possibilities that help you move forward. Imagine a traveler who dreams of exploring different cultures around the world. At first, the idea seems distant because traveling requires resources, planning, and courage. Many people around the traveler suggest that the dream is unrealistic. Despite these opinions, the traveler continues believing that the journey will happen one day. The traveler begins learning new languages, studying maps, and connecting with people from different countries eventually. An unexpected opportunity appears when the traveler receives an invitation to participate in an international cultural program. The experience opens the door to many more journeys and friendships around the world. The traveler later realizes that belief created the foundation for the adventure. Without that belief, the preparation and curiosity would never have developed. Belief also transforms the way people communicate with themselves. Many individuals speak harshly to their own minds, repeating thoughts that limit confidence. Statements such as "I cannot succeed" or "I am not capable" weaken the energy behind intention. Replacing these thoughts with positive belief changes the entire conversation. Instead of focusing on limitations, a person begins focusing on growth and possibility. A musician once struggled with stage fear before performing in front of audiences. Each performance created anxiety and self-doubt. Before one important event, the musician decided to change the inner dialogue. Instead of imagining mistakes, the musician imagined sharing beautiful music with people who wanted to listen. This shift in belief transformed the performance. The musician felt calmer and more connected to the audience. The music flowed naturally, and the experience became joyful rather than stressful. Change did not come from external conditions, but from the belief within the musician. Belief must also be balanced with patience. Some people believe strongly in their dreams but expect results to appear immediately. When success takes time, they become frustrated and begin doubting again. Universe often works through gradual development. A seed planted in soil grows slowly into a plant and eventually becomes a tree. The process cannot be rushed because each stage is necessary for strength and stability. A scientist conducting research once spent many years studying a difficult problem. The experiments failed repeatedly and progress was slow. Many colleagues suggested abandoning the project. However, the scientist believed that the discovery was possible and continued searching for answers. Through careful observation and persistence, the scientist finally developed a breakthrough that changed the field of study. The discovery was celebrated widely, but it was the long period of belief and patience that made it possible. This chapter reminds us that belief is not simply a positive thought, but a powerful force that shapes actions, attitudes, and experiences. It strengthens the language of intention and keeps the conversation with the universe clear and focused. When belief supports your intentions, your actions become more confident and your awareness becomes sharper. Opportunities that once seemed invisible begin to appear, and challenges become stepping stones rather than barriers. Universe listens closely to the energy you create. When that energy carries genuine belief, it sends a message of readiness and commitment. As you continue learning how to talk to the universe, remember that belief acts like the foundation of a bridge, connecting your inner world with the infinite possibilities surrounding you. With strong belief, your dreams gain the strength to travel beyond imagination and move steadily toward reality, guided by the silent partnership between your efforts and the responding universe. Chapter 6. Gratitude, the energy that opens more doors in the conversation between human beings and the universe. There is one powerful force that strengthens the connection more than most people realize. That force is gratitude. Gratitude is the simple act of appreciating what already exists in your life. When a person practices gratitude, they send a clear message to the universe that they recognize and value the blessings they have received. Many people focus only on what they do not have. They look at their lives and notice problems, delays, or missing opportunities. When the mind becomes fixed on lack, the energy sent into the universe carries frustration and dissatisfaction. This energy makes the conversation heavy, and negative gratitude changes this energy completely. When you appreciate what is present in your life, even the small moments, your awareness shifts from absence to abundance. The universe responds strongly to this positive energy because gratitude shows readiness to receive more. Imagine young woman beginning her first job after finishing her education. The work is not perfect and the salary is modest. Many of her friends complain constantly about similar situations, yet the woman chooses a different perspective. Each day she feels thankful for the chance to learn new skills, meet people, and gain experience her gratitude influences. The way she approaches her responsibilities, she performs tasks with care and enthusiasm instead of resentment. Managers and colleagues notice her positive attitude and trust her with greater responsibilities. Over time, she receives opportunities for advancement that others did not receive. The success did not appear by accident. Gratitude changed her mindset and behavior, which allowed the universe to open new doors in her career. Another example can be seen in the life of a farmer working with the land. A farmer understands that crops depend on weather, soil, and careful effort. Some seasons bring great harvests, while others are more difficult. A farmer who practices gratitude appreciates each stage of the process. Even when the harvest is small, the farmer remains thankful for the lessons learned and the strength gained through patience. This gratitude keeps the spirit hopeful and encourages continued effort in time. The land rewards that dedication with better harvests and stronger crops. Relationship between the farmer and the earth becomes one of respect and appreciation. This story reflects the relationship between people and the universe. Gratitude creates harmony with the natural flow of life. When a person respects what they receive, the universe responds with greater support. Gratitude also improves emotional well-being. A person who constantly searches for reasons to appreciate life naturally experiences more peace and happiness. This emotional state makes communication with the universe clearer because the mind becomes calm and open. Consider the story of a man who once struggled with stress and disappointment. He felt that life had treated him unfairly and often complained about his situation. One day he read about the idea of daily gratitude and decided to experiment with it. Each evening before sleeping, he wrote down 3 things he appreciated from that day. Sometimes the moments were small, such as enjoying a quiet walk or receiving a friendly smile from a stranger. After several weeks, he noticed a surprising change. His mood improved, and he began noticing more positive experiences throughout the day. Opportunities that once seemed ordinary now felt meaningful. The simple habit of gratitude transformed his entire perspective. Through this practice, he realized that the universe had always provided many small blessings, but he had been too focused on problems to recognize them. Another example comes from a teacher working with young students. The teacher began each morning by asking the class to share something they felt thankful for. Some students mentioned family members, others spoke about learning new skills or playing with friends. This daily practice created a positive environment in the classroom. Students became more supportive of each other and more motivated to learn. Gratitude encouraged them to see the value in their experiences, rather than comparing themselves negatively with others. The teacher understood that gratitude not only improved education, but also helped students build a healthy relationship with life and the universe. Gratitude also strengthens relationships between people. When someone expresses sincere appreciation, it builds trust, respect, and emotional connection. Imagine a business owner who regularly thanks employees for their dedication and effort. Instead of treating work as a simple exchange of labor for payment, the owner recognizes the human contributions behind success. Employees who feel appreciated become more motivated and loyal. The workplace becomes a supportive community where everyone works toward shared goals. In this way, gratitude multiplies positive energy and encourages cooperation, which benefits everyone involved. Another example involves a traveler exploring different cultures around the world. During the journey, the traveler experiences both comfort and difficulty. Some days involve long distances, unexpected weather, and unfamiliar environments. Instead of focusing on inconvenience, the traveler chooses gratitude for the opportunity to see new places, learn from different traditions, and meet people with unique stories. This mindset turns each challenge into a meaningful memory. The traveler returns home not only with photographs, but with a deeper understanding of life and a strong sense of appreciation. The universe responds warmly to people who carry gratitude, because appreciation reflects trust in the natural flow of events. When a person trusts that life contains value, even during difficulty, the conversation with the universe becomes positive and cooperative. Gratitude also encourages generosity. When people recognize the blessings in their own lives, they often feel inspired to share those blessings with others. Acts of kindness support the flow of positive energy through communities and relationships. For example, a successful entrepreneur once remembered the struggles faced during the early years of building a company. Instead of forgetting those experiences, the entrepreneur felt grateful for the journey and the people who provided support. This gratitude inspired the creation of programs that helped young entrepreneurs develop their ideas and skills. Many new businesses grew from that support, and the cycle of opportunity continued expanding. The original success became a source of encouragement for many others because gratitude inspired generosity. Another important aspect of gratitude is recognizing growth. Even difficult experiences often contain lessons that strengthen character and wisdom. A musician once faced a period when performances were canceled and progress seemed uncertain. At first, the situation felt discouraging, but the musician eventually felt grateful for the unexpected free time. This time allowed deeper practice, exploration of new musical styles, and personal reflection. When opportunities returned, the musician performed with greater creativity and confidence. The challenge had become a valuable teacher rather than an obstacle. Gratitude transformed a difficult period into an opportunity for improvement. This chapter reveals that gratitude is more than polite words. It is a powerful emotional energy that shapes how people experience life and communicate with the universe. When gratitude becomes a daily habit, your attention naturally shifts toward the positive elements of existence. This shift attracts more experiences worth appreciating and strengthens your connection with the flow of opportunities surrounding you. Talking to the universe is not only about asking for guidance or expressing desires, it is also about acknowledging the gifts that already exist in your life. When you say thank you through your thoughts, actions, and attitude, the universe recognizes that you value what you receive. And in response, it often provides even more reasons to feel grateful. In this way, gratitude becomes a bridge between your present reality and the greater possibilities waiting to unfold through the ongoing conversation between you and the universe. Chapter 7, Taking Inspired Action. Talking to the universe is not only about thinking, believing, or feeling grateful. It also involves action. The universe responds most powerfully when your thoughts and intentions are supported by movement in the real world. This movement is known as inspired action. Inspired action is different from forced effort. Forced effort happens when a person pushes themselves without passion or clarity. Inspired action comes from a feeling of purpose and excitement. It is the natural step that appears when your intention becomes clear and your mind becomes open to guidance. Many people believe that if they simply wish for something strongly enough, it will appear in their lives without effort. This belief often leads to disappointment because the universe works through participation. The conversation between you and the universe becomes meaningful when you respond to opportunities with action. Imagine a young artist who dreams of sharing paintings with the world. The artist spends many evenings imagining success and hoping for recognition, but does not show the artwork to anyone. Months pass and nothing changes because the dream remains only inside the imagination. One day, the artist decides to take inspired action. A small local exhibition is organized at a community center, and the artist chooses to display several paintings there. At first, the audience is small, but one visitor becomes deeply interested in the work and encourages the artist to continue creating. That single moment becomes the beginning of a larger journey. The artist later participates in more exhibitions and gradually gains recognition for unique creative expression. Dream began to grow the moment the artist combined intention with action. Another Example can be seen in the life of the student who hopes to become a scientist. The student feels fascinated by nature and spends many hours thinking about scientific discoveries. Yet the student realizes that curiosity alone is not enough. The student begins taking inspired action by reading research books, joining science clubs, and conducting simple experiments at home. These activities create practical experience and deeper understanding. During a school competition, the student presents a small project about environmental science. The presentation attracts the attention of a teacher who later becomes an important mentor, guiding the student toward advanced education. The student did not wait for opportunity to arrive automatically. Instead, the student moved toward the dream and the universe. Responded by placing helpful people along the path. Inspired action often begins with small steps. Many individuals hesitate because they believe the first step must be perfect or large, enough to guarantee success. In reality, progress usually starts with simple actions that build confidence and experience. Consider the story of a woman who dreamed of writing stories for children. She loved storytelling, but felt uncertain about her writing ability. For a long time, she kept her ideas hidden in notebooks without sharing them. Eventually, she decided to take a small step by writing short stories and reading them to children in her community library. The children enjoyed the stories and encouraged her to continue writing. Their reactions gave her confidence and helped her improve her skills. Each performance increased confidence and skill. Eventually, the musician began performing professionally and sharing music with wider audiences. The transformation started with one brave step supported by genuine intention. Another important aspect of inspired action is flexibility. Sometimes the universe responds to your intentions in unexpected ways. Opportunities may appear that look different from your original plan. For example, a young entrepreneur once dreamed of opening a large restaurant. Immediately building such a business was impossible due to financial limitations. Instead of abandoning the dream, the entrepreneur took inspired action by starting a small food stall. Offering unique recipes, customers quickly appreciated the quality and creativity of the food. The popularity of the stall allowed the entrepreneur to save resources and expand gradually. Years later, the original dream of opening a restaurant became reality. The universe provided a path that began smaller than expected, but eventually led to the desired destination. Inspired action teaches an important lesson. Dreams grow through cooperation between human effort and universal guidance. When intention, belief, and gratitude exist without action, the conversation remains incomplete. When action joins these qualities, the dialogue becomes powerful and productive. The universe opens doors, but individuals must walk through them. Opportunities appear, but courage and effort are required to transform them into reality. As you continue your journey, remember that inspired action does not require perfection. It simply requires willingness to move forward with sincerity and curiosity. Each step sends a message to the universe that you are ready to participate in the creation of your own path. Through this partnership, life becomes more dynamic, meaningful, and full of possibility, because every action you take becomes part of the ongoing conversation between your inner vision and the infinite universe surrounding you. Chapter 8. Trusting the timing of the universe. One of the most difficult lessons in the journey of communicating with the universe is learning to trust timing. Human beings often want immediate answers and instant results. When a person sends an intention into the universe, they naturally hope the response will arrive quickly. However, the universe does not always follow human schedules. The universe works through natural rhythms, connections, and events that unfold gradually. Understanding this truth helps a person remain patient and calm even when progress seems slow. Imagine a gardener planting seeds in the soil. The gardener cannot demand that the plants grow overnight. Seeds require time, water, sunlight, and care before they become strong plants. If the gardener becomes impatient, and digs up the soil every day to check the seed, the growth will be disturbed. In the same way, intentions planted in the universe need time to develop. Trusting this process is an essential part of the conversation. Consider the story of a young man who wanted to become a successful architect. After finishing his education, he applied for many jobs, but received several rejections. Each rejection created frustration and doubt. He wondered whether his dream was unrealistic. Instead of giving up, he decided to continue improving his skills while waiting for the right opportunity. He spent time studying design software, practicing creative ideas, and observing architecture in different cities. Months later, a small design company invited him to join a project that required fresh perspectives. The work allowed him to demonstrate his creativity and dedication. Soon his talent became recognized, and his career began growing steadily. Looking back, he realized that the earlier delays had given him time to strengthen his abilities. If success had arrived immediately, he might not have been prepared for the responsibility. This story shows that the timing of the universe often includes preparation challenges and waiting periods. Help people develop patience, strength, and wisdom. Another example can be seen in the life of a woman who dreamed of starting a school for children in her community. She imagined a place where education could inspire creativity and confidence. At first, she searched for financial support and a building where the school could operate. The process seemed slow and complicated. Many plans failed and resources were limited. Instead of abandoning the vision, she continued believing in the purpose behind it. She volunteered in local education programs and gained valuable experience working with students. Over time, she met people who shared her vision. A group of supporters eventually helped secure a small building where the first classroom opened. The school began with only a few students, but slowly expanded into a respected institution serving the community. The years of waiting had allowed her to learn leadership, organization, and teaching methods that became essential for the success of the school. Trusting the timing of the universe also protects people from rushing into situations that are not truly aligned with their path. Sometimes what appears to be a delay is actually guidance, preventing a person from making a harmful decision. Imagine a traveler planning to move to a new city for work. Everything appears ready until an unexpected problem delays the move. The traveler feels disappointed and confused. During the delay, the traveler meets someone who introduces a different career opportunity in the current city. This opportunity turns out to be more meaningful and fulfilling than the original plan. Later, the traveler realizes that the delay was not a failure, but a protective moment guiding life toward a better direction. The universe often arranges events in ways that human beings cannot fully see in advance. Trust allows people to move through these experiences with faith rather than frustration. Another powerful example involves a writer who spent many years working on a book. The writing process was slow and filled with moments of doubt. Some chapters required complete revision, and several publishers rejected the manuscript instead of abandoning the project. The writer continued refining the story with patience. Eventually, the book reached a publisher who believed strongly in its message. The book was published and later inspired thousands of readers around the world. The long period of preparation allowed the writer to develop a deeper understanding of the story, making the final version more meaningful and powerful. Trusting the timing of the universe does not mean remaining passive. It means continuing to take inspired action. While accepting that results may appear when the moment is right, a musician once practiced for many years without receiving recognition, despite the lack of attention. The musician continued improving skills and exploring new styles of music. One evening, the musician performed at a small event where a recording producer happened to be present. The producer recognized the unique talent and offered an opportunity to record original compositions. The moment seemed sudden, but it was actually the result of years of dedication and patience. The musician had been preparing for that opportunity long before it appeared. Trusting timing also encourages emotional balance. When people expect instant success, they often feel discouraged during periods of waiting. By accepting that growth follows natural rhythms, they remain motivated and hopeful. A young entrepreneur experienced this lesson while developing a technology project. The idea required research, testing, and improvements before it could succeed. Many investors initially declined the proposal because they believed the concept was too new. Instead of feeling defeated, the entrepreneur continued refining the design and gathering feedback. Eventually, the technology became relevant. As society began demanding innovative solutions, the project gained attention and support at the right moment. This success occurred because the entrepreneur trusted the process and continued preparing during the waiting period. The timing of the universe often connects many different lives and events together. A person may need to meet certain individuals, learn specific lessons, or gain important experiences before a dream can fully develop. For example, a teacher who later became a successful educational leader once spent years working in small classrooms with limited resources. During that time, the teacher learned creative teaching methods and developed strong relationships with students. These experiences later helped the teacher design programs that improved education for entire communities. If the leadership position had arrived earlier, the teacher might not have possessed the understanding needed to guide others effectively. Trusting timing allowed knowledge and compassion to grow naturally. Another example involves a traveler who dreamed of exploring remote landscapes and documenting nature through photography. Early attempts to organize such journeys faced many obstacles, including financial limits and travel restrictions. Instead of abandoning the dream, the traveler continued practicing photography locally and studying environmental science. Eventually, an international conservation project invited photographers to document wildlife habitats. Because the traveler had spent years preparing skills and knowledge, the opportunity could be accepted with confidence. The resulting photographs helped raise awareness about environmental protection. This story illustrates how patience and preparation create the perfect moment for opportunities to appear. Trusting the timing of the universe also teaches humility. It reminds people that life is part of a greater system of connections and rhythms beyond individual control. Recognizing this truth allows a person to relax and cooperate with life instead of constantly struggling against it. When you trust timing, you continue expressing intentions, taking inspired actions, and practicing gratitude while allowing results to unfold naturally. The universe hears every sincere thought and effort, but it responds through a complex process that balances growth lessons and opportunities. As you develop this trust, you begin to feel calmer during uncertain moments because you understand that every stage of the journey has a purpose. Delays become preparation, obstacles become teachers. Waiting becomes an opportunity to strengthen patience and wisdom. In this way, trusting the timing of the universe transforms frustration into faith and allows your conversation with existence to continue with confidence and peace, knowing that the right moments will appear exactly when they are meant to guide you forward. Chapter 9. Letting Go and Allowing the Universe to Work. One of the most powerful and often misunderstood parts of talking to the universe is learning how to let go. Many people believe that after expressing a desire, they must constantly worry about how and when it will happen. They try to control every detail and become anxious if results do not appear quickly. However, the universe responds best when intention is combined with trust and release. Letting go does not mean giving up on a dream. It means allowing the universe the space to arrange events in the most natural and beneficial way. When people hold tightly to outcomes, they often create tension in their minds. This tension blocks creativity and prevents them from recognizing opportunities that appear in unexpected forms. By releasing excessive control, a person becomes more relaxed, open, and ready to receive guidance. Imagine a young photographer who dreams of becoming well known for capturing powerful images. The photographer spends months worrying about recognition, constantly comparing work with others, and feeling frustrated when success seems distant. One day, the photographer decides to change the approach. Instead of focusing only on fame or approval, the photographer begins taking pictures purely for the joy of creativity. The camera becomes a tool for exploring nature, people, and everyday moments without pressure. As the photographer shares these authentic images online, people begin to respond positively. They appreciate the honesty and beauty captured in the photographs. Slowly, the work gains attention and opportunities for exhibitions appear. The success arrived when the photographer stopped forcing results and allowed creativity to flow naturally. Another example can be seen in the life of a student preparing for an important examination. The student studies carefully and works hard for many weeks. Yet, as the exam approaches, anxiety begins to grow. The student fears forgetting information or making mistakes. Realizing that constant worry is unhelpful, the student decides to trust the preparation already completed. The night before the exam, the student relaxes, takes a walk, and rests peacefully. During the exam, the calm mindset allows clear thinking and confident answers. The result is successful, not because of panic, but because the student balanced effort with trust. This situation shows how letting go can improve performance by freeing the mind from unnecessary stress. Letting go also helps people accept outcomes that may differ from their original expectations. Sometimes the universe responds to intentions in ways that lead to better opportunities than those imagined at the beginning. Consider the story of a man who applied for a position in a prestigious company. He believed this job would bring success and happiness, but after several interviews, the company chose another candidate. At first, the rejection felt painful. The man questioned his abilities and wondered why the opportunity disappeared. However, after some time, he decided to release the disappointment and continue searching for work aligned with his interests. Soon he discovered a smaller organization focused on social development. The position offered less prestige, but allowed him to work closely with communities and create meaningful impact. Years later, he realized that this unexpected path brought far more fulfillment than the original job would have provided. The rejection had guided him toward a purpose that matched his values. This example demonstrates that letting go opens the door for new possibilities when people cling too strongly to one specific outcome. They may overlook better alternatives prepared by the universe. Another important aspect of letting go is releasing negative emotions such as resentment, regret, or fear. These emotions keep the mind focused on past difficulties instead of future growth. Imagine a musician who once experienced a disappointing performance in front of an audience. The memory remained painful and created fear about performing again. Each time the musician thought about music, the past mistake returned and weakened confidence. Eventually, the musician realized that holding on to this memory prevented progress. Musician decided to forgive the past experience and treat it as a lesson rather than a failure. With this new perspective, the musician returned to performing with renewed energy and enthusiasm. Audiences appreciated the sincerity and passion in the music, and new opportunities began appearing. Letting go of the past allowed creativity and confidence to return. Letting go also applies to relationships between people. Sometimes individuals try to control how others think, feel, or behave. This effort often leads to frustration because each person has their own path and choices. A woman once tried very hard to guide a close friend towards certain life decisions, believing they would bring happiness. However, the friend felt pressured and the relationship became strained. Eventually, the woman understood that genuine support does not require controlling another person's choices. She decided to let go of expectations and simply offer friendship, and understanding the relationship improved immediately because the pressure disappeared. Both individuals felt free to grow and learn from their own experiences. This example reveals that letting Go creates healthier connections and greater harmony. Another story involves a traveler who planned a detailed journey through several countries. Every step of the trip was organized carefully, but unexpected weather forced changes to the schedule. At first, the traveler felt frustrated because the plan no longer seemed perfect. After some reflection, the traveler chose to release the strict schedule and explore new places discovered along the way. These unplanned experiences became the most memorable moments of the journey. The traveler met interesting people, visited hidden locations, and gained deeper understanding of different cultures. The lesson was clear. Sometimes the most meaningful experiences appear when we allow life to unfold. Without rigid control, letting go also strengthens trust in the universe. When you release excessive worry, you show confidence that the natural flow of events will guide you toward growth and learning. A writer once spent years hoping a manuscript would become popular. The writer constantly checked reviews, sales numbers, and public opinions, which created stress and disappointment. Eventually, the writer decided to focus only on the joy of writing and connecting with readers who appreciated the work. Instead of worrying about popularity, the writer continued creating meaningful stories. Over time, the authenticity of the writing attracted a loyal audience. The books became respected not because the writer forced recognition, but because genuine passion guided the creative process. This transformation happened when the writer let go of constant pressure and trusted the journey. Letting go does not mean losing motivation. It means understanding that while you can control your effort, intentions, and actions, you cannot control every outcome. The universe operates through a network of events and relationships far larger than individual plans. When you release the need to control everything, your mind becomes lighter. Your attention returns to the present moment, where creativity, inspiration, and opportunity naturally exist. Through letting go, you allow the universe to respond in ways that may surprise and inspire you. Your role in this partnership is to express clear intentions, take inspired action, maintain belief, and practice gratitude. After these steps, the final stage is trust, allowing life to move forward without constant fear or tension. When you learn this balance, the conversation with the universe becomes peaceful and powerful. You act with purpose, yet remain open to the wisdom of the greater system guiding your path. And in that openness, you discover that many beautiful possibilities appear. Exactly when you stop trying to control every detail and simply allow the universe to work through the natural flow of life. Chapter 10. Aligning mind, body, and spirit. The conversation with the universe becomes strongest when every part of your being is aligned. Alignment is the harmony between mind, body, and spirit. When your thoughts, intentions, and actions are consistent with your deeper values and authentic self, the energy you send into the universe becomes clear, powerful, and receptive. Many people experience conflict between these three aspects of life. For example, the mind may desire success, the body may feel tired or unhealthy, and the spirit may seek meaning. In such cases, the energy sent into the universe is fragmented, and responses can feel confusing or delayed. Alignment begins with awareness of each dimension of life. The mind must be clear in its intentions without cluttered thoughts or doubts. The body must be cared for through proper nutrition, exercise, rest, and mindful activity. The spirit must be nurtured through reflection, meditation, or connection with values that inspire purpose. Imagine a young woman who dreams of becoming a healer. She has the knowledge and desire to help others, but feels drained by work and distracted by endless tasks. Each day she plans to study and practice healing techniques, but fatigue prevents consistent action. Recognizing the misalignment, she begins small changes. She sets aside time each morning for quiet meditation, allowing her mind to settle. She eats nourishing meals and takes short walks to maintain energy and clarity. She also reflects on the reason behind her dream, helping her spirit connect to the deeper purpose. Over time, these small steps create alignment. Mind thoughts become focused. Body energy becomes steady spirit motivation, deepens. The young woman feels more confident and capable in pursuing her healing path. Another example comes from a man who wants to become an environmental activist. His mind is full of plans and ideas, but stress from work makes the body tense and the spirit uncertain. He begins practicing mindfulness exercises to calm the mind and relieve stress. He adjusts his schedule to allow regular physical activity and spends time in nature to strengthen his connection to the environment and the yang cause. With alignment achieved, the man notices opportunities that previously went unseen. A community organization invites him to participate in a project he had long hoped to join. The combination of clear intention, energy, and authentic purpose makes the path easier to follow. Alignment also enhances intuition. The mind becomes receptive to subtle feelings and signs when it is not cluttered by doubt. The body signals energy levels and readiness, while the spirit senses what resonates with deeper purpose. For example, a musician planning a creative project feels conflicted each day, brings distractions and physical fatigue, leading to uncertainty about the next step. By aligning the mind with focus and intention, the body with healthy practice and rest, and the spirit with passion for music, the musician discovers a natural flow of inspiration. The ideas come easily and decisions about performances and collaborations feel intuitive and clear. Another important aspect of alignment is consistency. When all three dimensions support each other, progress becomes steady and resilient. Even challenges become manageable because the energy behind actions is balanced. A teacher once faced a class with diverse learning needs and limited resources. At first, the work felt overwhelming because mental focus was scattered, the body exhausted, and motivation weakened. The teacher began planning lessons mindfully, resting adequately to maintain energy, and reconnecting with the passion for helping students succeed. This alignment allowed creative solutions to emerge, and teaching became effective and fulfilling. Alignment also increases emotional resilience. When mind, body, and spirit are in harmony, a person can respond to setbacks without panic or discouragement. A young entrepreneur pursuing a startup experienced a financial setback early in the venture. Instead of panicking, the entrepreneur used mindfulness to calm the mind, exercised to release tension, and revisited the mission behind the startup to restore inspiration. This combination of clarity, energy, and purpose enabled the entrepreneur to adapt strategies and continue moving forward, eventually creating a thriving business. Aligning mind, body, and spirit also deepens gratitude and trust. As each dimension of life supports the other, it becomes easier to recognize blessings and maintain faith in the timing and flow of the universe. Consider a writer who struggles with motivation. While balancing work and family responsibilities, the writer sets aside time to meditate each morning, prepares nourishing meals to maintain energy, and recalls the passion for storytelling as the guiding purpose. With this alignment, the writing becomes fluid. Creative ideas flow naturally, and opportunities for publishing or sharing the work appear more clearly. Another key element of alignment is authenticity. When your actions, thoughts, and emotions reflect your true self, the energy you send into the universe resonates more strongly with opportunities and experiences that match your purpose. A young artist who initially imitated popular styles without personal expression struggled to gain recognition. The artist then decided to embrace personal vision, aligning daily practice with inner inspiration and creative exploration. Resulting work attracted genuine attention because authenticity created a clear, energetic signature in the universe, inviting connections, exhibitions, and collaborations that match the artist's unique voice. Alignment also improves decision-making. The mind can evaluate options clearly. The body signals readiness or discomfort, and the spirit senses resonance with purpose. This integrated awareness allows choices to feel natural and guided rather than forced or stressful. For example, a traveler deciding between two career paths listens to thoughts about practicality, notes physical energy and enthusiasm toward each option, and reflects on which choice aligns with personal values. This integrative approach often reveals a clear path, showing that the universe responds more effectively when the whole person participates. In alignment is not a one-time task, but a continuous practice. Life circumstances change, requiring constant attention to balance his small daily habits, such as mindfulness exercises, physical activity, journaling, reflection, and intentional rest help maintain alignment consistently. Over time, this consistency strengthens the dialogue with the universe, making guidance, opportunities, and signs easier to recognize and act upon. In this chapter, we see that alignment connects every element of your being into a unified force capable of sending clear messages into the universe when mind, body, and spirit move together with intention, belief, gratitude, trust, and inspired action. The conversation with the universe becomes vibrant and harmonious. Opportunities appear naturally. Challenges become lessons, and life flows with greater ease and meaning. Alignment allows you to experience the ongoing dialogue between your authentic self and the infinite possibilities of the universe with clarity, confidence, and joy. Conclusion: embracing a lifelong conversation with the universe. Throughout this journey of learning how to talk to the universe, we have explored the essential elements that create a meaningful and powerful dialogue: intention, inner silence, belief, gratitude, inspired action, trust, letting go, and alignment all work together as parts of a single process that allows human beings to connect deeply with the infinite energy surrounding them. The first step, creating inner silence, taught us that listening is just as important as speaking. The universe communicates subtly through intuition, signs, and feelings that emerge when the mind becomes calm and open. Next, clear intention became the language that allows the universe to understand your desires and purpose. By focusing on what truly matters and expressing it with sincerity, you send a strong signal that shapes the opportunities and experiences that appear in your life. Belief strengthens that signal, ensuring that your dreams survive challenges and delays. It turns uncertainty into confidence and transforms desire into actionable energy. Gratitude amplifies the dialogue by cultivating an awareness of abundance. Recognizing and appreciating the blessings already present in your life creates a magnetic energy that invites more positivity and opportunity. Inspired action bridges thought and reality. Without action, dreams remain abstract. When intentions are paired with concrete, motivated steps, the universe responds by opening doors, connecting you with people, ideas, and experiences that support your path. Trusting the timing of the universe reminds us that patience is essential. Growth cannot be rushed. Every event, challenge, and delay has a purpose in preparing you for the next stage of your journey. Letting go allows the conversation to flow naturally, releasing excessive control. Fear or attachment creates space for unexpected blessings, guidance, and opportunities to appear. Finally, alignment of mind, body, and spirit ensures that your entire being is sending a coherent message into the universe. When your thoughts, energy, and inner purpose work together, the dialogue becomes clear, effective, and harmonious. Throughout this process, it becomes clear that talking to the universe is not a one-time act or a ritual to be performed. Occasionally, it is a lifelong practice. It is about cultivating awareness, nurturing your inner world, taking conscious actions, and maintaining faith in the unseen forces that guide life. The stories, examples, and lessons shared in this book show that the universe is constantly responsive. It communicates through signs, experiences, and people. The challenge is not to control these responses, but to participate actively. Align with your authentic self and remain open to receiving guidance. Every moment in life can become part of this conversation. Every thought, feeling, and action carries energy that shapes your experiences. Every challenge holds a lesson. Every opportunity carries a message, by embracing these principles. You discover that the universe is not distant or inaccessible. It is present, responsive, and waiting for you to engage fully. The dialogue becomes a partnership where your intentions, energy, and actions meet the infinite possibilities around you as you move forward. Remember that this conversation requires practice, patience, and persistence. The more you cultivate inner silence, clarity, belief, gratitude, inspired action, trust, letting go, and alignment, the more naturally the universe will respond. Life becomes more meaningful, opportunities become more apparent, and challenges transform into growth experiences ultimately. Talking to the universe is about recognizing your place within the vast flow of existence. It is about learning to co-create with the infinite and allowing your authentic self to participate fully in the unfolding of life. As you embrace this lifelong practice, you will find that the universe is not something outside of you, but a continuous presence guiding, supporting, and inspiring every step of your journey. And in this awareness, you discover the greatest truth, that the universe has always been listening and waiting for you to speak. Act, trust, and align with the infinite possibilities that life offers then.
Kindly subscribe to my channel.